So I've decided to come out for an afternoon walk. Check out the sunset behind me. You all can see that properly, but got like a big ass cactus in front of me. Looks like a cactus. Cactus tree. Sunrise in the back. I've honestly not been for a walk for ages. Like I was saying in the last video, I've been in Sydney for like 2 to 3 months now. I've not been for a walk. I've not felt like going for a walk. Now I feel like going for a walk to Starbucks. So I'm going to take a lot of you, all of my people on here, all you guys, all my YouTube followers, for a walk like I used to do. That was my thing, that was our thing when I first started this channel. I was always taking guys for walks. And I just looked online and I was going to get another selfie stick because I don't have a selfie stick right now. So I'm going to have to get another one. So it's going to go down to Big W because I got a Big W right here where I'm living. It's like 5 minutes away, but I don't think it was a good one. I have to get a good one. So I kept getting ones from Kmart last time. They were this selfie sticks that I was using. It was a Kmart selfie stick, but they only probably lasted, 2 months, and they comped it. So I have to get a quality one that holds and that's firm and lasts at least a year, that's sturdy. It can hold the weight of this camera, me holding it up. But yeah, welcome to Sydney, everyone. This is Sydney. This is a lot different from the Gold Coast and from Cairns. And unfortunately, I didn't get to show you guys Cairns. I would have loved to show you guys Cairns. I absolutely love Cairns. That is honestly where I think I'm going to end up. Where I think I'm going to end up starting, my life. Starting a family up there and doing all the things that I used to tell you guys on the channel that, I wanted to do. I think anyway, that's where I'm still leaning towards Cairns. It's just warm when I was up there. It was winter, the beaches, food. Even though I don't mind Sydney, it's just cold down here. That's the only thing. I do have loads of family down here, which is an added bonus. But there is good quality food down in Sydney as well. The butcher that I'm going to right now, it's called S&M Meats. It's like a wholesale butcher, and they've got real good quality beef and chicken and loads of other stuff. So, yeah, I really like it. And I couldn't find real good quality beef and chicken when I was up in Cairns for some reason. Went to a few different butchers. Was going down to the corner store where I was living up there, a place called Trinity Beach, and I just couldn't find the right meat that sat well with my belly. But since I've been down here, as soon as I came down here, Nen took me to the butcher called S&M Meats, and they had cheap chicken tenders there for like $7 a kilo, which is, super cheap, and it's $7 a kilo every week all the time. If you buy 3 kilos worth, that's what I did when I first got down here. And then I was trying to find that top sirloin steak, like I was said in the last video if you watched it. That's the only steak I've been eating because it's lean, but it's still juicy and it's easy to digest. So I've tried all different types of steaks before, and the top side steak is the easiest for me to digest, along with the chicken tenders. I've tried chicken breast, I've tried thighs, I've tried all of it. I've tried different cuts of steak, and top side is the lean, juicy, easy to digest steak. So that's what I've been having. So yeah, that's the only thing about Cairns. I did not find a butcher that suited. There was one more butcher I was looking to go to while I was up in Cairns, at a place called, where was it? I was living at Trinity Beach. It was the next suburb over. What was that called? Anyway, it was the next suburb over. There's another butcher I was going to check out. Didn't get the chance to do that. And when I was in Cairns, actually, I was working for a little bit. I did like one shift, a couple shifts at BWS while I was up there. Remember, whoever followed the channel before, I used to work at BWS. But I don't ever want to be working at a bottle shop again, but I was working there. But I was up at Trinity Beach too, and I did actually have a job lined up at another place called, where was it called? Another bottle shop at Liquorland. I had that lined up, but then I had to move down to Sydney just because things changed. So now I'm down in Sydney. You know, my financial circumstance with things that were happening and me not getting the right amount of food and the food that I need to eat to function properly, didn't quite pick it up there, and the water situation up there wasn't great either. So I ended up coming down and living with Nan. You know, so that's where I'm at right now, living with my Nan, my pop, my auntie, and my cousin right now, and they're moving in next door. So yeah, that's the situation at the minute. But you know, there is some benefits of being down in Sydney. You know, and I've come to realise that wherever I go, it doesn't matter where I go, you know, the same things tend to happen. You know, if I'm feeling a certain way, the same things will happen around me. You know, doesn't matter where I go, doesn't matter what job I work out, doesn't matter, you know, what suburb I'm in, doesn't matter who I'm surrounded with, whether it be family, friends, work colleagues, anything. However I'm feeling on the inside manifests on the outside. You know, that's why I've always said it's so important. I've got to get this food thing down packed. I've got to get feeling right internally, because when I get that right, the external world will work out. That's just what happens in this world. It's just what happens from my experience, you know. It's all an internal job, not from my experience. That's what happens in this world. Whether you're aware of it or you're not aware of it, that is the reality of this place. Should I go back that way? I'll keep walking down. There's just a main road down here. It's probably loud, but there's a park. I might walk across to the park. But anyway, yeah, even coming down and living with my nan, and you know, I see similar tendencies in my nan to my mum, and like, you know, just depending on how I'm feeling, you know, if I'm feeling a certain way or in a good mood, I'm feeling happy, you know, there's happy people around. And if I'm feeling not so good, then not so good things happen on the outside, you know. So it does not matter where I go. You can leave and you can go somewhere else. It may be better, but you've still got to take yourself there. You've still got to take your own energy there. You've still got to take your own, you know, your own vibrational energy or personality with you, if you will. But like I say on the channel, it's more than that. It's how you feel. You know, I can tell myself certain things, but if I'm not feeling that, it's not congruent, you know. It doesn't come natural. It's masked. It's not how it is. But if you can get, like I feel right now, internally sound, because I'm eating the right food, I'm drinking clean filtered water, you know, and I've got a clear mind. That's all I was aiming for this whole time, you know, in the last 8 years. It's just to have a clear mind, to be able to function normally, have a clear mind, you know, and feel good and get everything feeling good from top to bottom. So yeah, I've done it. I have done it. It's taken me a while, but I've done it. But anyway, let me see, check out that in the background. Sunset. Big ass green park down there. Going through one of the main roads. Yeah, chuck some comments down in the video. In this video, comment down below. For all of my subscribers that have been here from the start, for some new people that follow me, let me know what you guys have been up to, what's been happening in the last, you know, say 4 to 6 months since I've been off this thing. Very rarely have I came on and upload videos. Let us know what's been happening on that end, on your end. You know, update me. But where I was living up in Cairns at a place called Trinity Beach, I was like 5 to 10 minutes away from the beach. It's a surreal place. I was literally surrounded. If I was 360 view down at Trinity Beach, I was literally just surrounded by mountains and the beach. It's like my ideal spot, and the weather was great, like literally. And there was so many like restaurants up there. Like Cairns is just unbelievable for food and restaurants, and you know, the quality of people up there was real good too. You know, I loved it. And when I was at Trinity Beach, I was like catching the bus over at the time, and you know, I was going on the same route, and I seen a school right at Trinity Beach that, you know, when I eventually have kids, you know, I could see my kids going to that school. I had to go to the library to print out stuff for that job that I was telling you about. You know, so I went to the library a couple of times, and you know, the kids were happy. They were in a good mood, you know, because they were in a place like Cairns. You know, so yeah, I went up to the mountains while I was up there, checked out a few things, like different like fruit stores, and I was eating fruit again while I was up there. And I was just exploring. And there was an island over there that I was wanting to go to too that I never got the chance to go to. I was going to kayak over there because I met some lady on the mountain, and she told me about it because I'd been looking at it so much when I was up there. I'd like climbed to the top of the mountain on top of Trinity Beach. It was like a probably 45-minute walk. You know, I had the most surreal views I'd ever seen, like literally ever. Like I just looked down and there was like a double island off the mountain, like shimmering, glittery waters, and it was just amazing, you know. And then I'd go down to the actual Trinity Beach, and there was like a big, you know, rock slash cliff on the corner, and I'd just sit there and I could just see the whole coastline from Trinity all the way down to like 3 suburbs down. And it was like just unbelievable. I just love it. I love it up there. It's just such a relaxed, you know, good vibe place. But in saying that, you know, it can be like that down here too, you know. But this is the park anyway that I'm at. Came down here the other day. It's like a big baseball park. I seen people playing baseball here the other day. And that's Plumpton Shops right there. That's the local shops that I'm always going to. Got like a Coles. Sorry, not a Coles. I got a Woolies, Big W, stuff like that there. Macca's is right there too. I'll get my waters. But just across in the paddock next to Woolies, they're building another shopping centre there. So they're going to have like a Coles, Kmart and everything there too, apparently. So that's all going to get built up. For all my people, followers and subscribers, this is a bit of Sydney for you. A bit different from Queensland. And I'm not near the city, by the way. This is like probably an hour out of the city drive. So inland. It's actually where I was born. Around this way. I was born in a place called Westmead. It was maybe like 15-20 minutes away from here. So that's where I originally started, in Sydney. And then we moved to the Gold Coast. Then I've been up there pretty much my whole life. When I moved and came back, I always went back to the Gold Coast. Now I'm down in Sydney again. So tell you what, it's good to be outside. I'm loving being outside. Just going for a walk, just feeling like I'm able to just get out the house and do something. You know, all from a little bit of butter. A little bit of butter that I needed to add to all the other stuff that I was eating. Because butter has butyrate in it, and apparently butyrate's real good for vitamin absorption. So butyrate in butter helps you absorb vitamin A, D, E and K better. And actually, also too, butter, from what I've seen, is good for gut health, and butter actually helps you restore your gut lining. The vitamins in the butter, like the butyrate actually feeds your intestinal flora, your cell lining for your gut. Help keeps your gut in shape. Feeds your gut bacteria to keep your gut lining good, from what I've seen. Good and strong from what I've seen. So yeah. So got to keep having a little bit of butter. I didn't overdo it. I only had two teaspoons today of butter, and that was enough. That's the other thing that I've been doing since I've been down here. I've not been overdoing the food. I've only been having 5 eggs. You know, I've only been having like 3 or 4 cups of milk a day. You know, I've been eating loads of potatoes. I've probably been eating about a kilo and a half of potatoes a day. So I have been overdoing that. But I think I've been eating so much potatoes because I'm wanting more food. I'm wanting more fat. So the butter should be the last thing that I needed. And I haven't been eating too much meat either. Anyone who's followed the channel before, and I told you guys, I used to eat like a kilo and a half of beef a day. You know what I mean? That's literally all I was eating. Beef, pretty much. Beef and eggs at one stage. You know, so I haven't been overdoing the beef or the chicken either. I've just been having like a little bit, maybe like, I don't know, 100 grams to 200 grams of each. You know, so probably about 400 grams of meat a day. So, yeah. The Braves, they're called. Plumpton Braves, baseball team. Ground rules. Home team is responsible to set up ground before the game. No warming up on infield. No batting or throwing on foul lines or pass ball lines. No hitting or throwing balls against the fence. Pitcher used designated warm-up areas when warming up. At conclusion of the game, each team is responsible to clean their dugouts and surrounding areas. The home team is responsible to rack and return all equipment to the storage facility supplied. No player is to leave until all equipment and all work has been completed by the team. That's the rules, apparently. Actually, when I was younger, now I think about it, I used to play T-ball down in Sydney. Mum had me in T-ball. I don't know how old I was. Must have been like probably 6 or 8 or something. I remember playing T-ball while I was down here. Someone's ripped help in the sand. So I played T-ball when I was down in Sydney. I used to play soccer. Soccer was my first sport I ever played. I used to be a right winger playing soccer. I used to be a decent, pretty good soccer player actually, from memory. You score a fair few goals. Mum tells me as well. Then I stopped playing when I got to the Goldie because something happened while I was up there. I don't want to get into it, but I remember what happened. So I stopped playing soccer. Started playing basketball. But I played soccer, T-ball, played AFL for a small stage as well, maybe like 1 season AFL. And yeah. So basically all of my family are down in Sydney actually. All of them, other than my immediate family. You know, other than my mum and my sister and my brother. You know, they're all down in Sydney. All of them. So, you know, it's a good place for me to be. Also, you know. Because the next step for me is starting my own family, like I've said on the channel before. That's what I want to do. I want to start my own family. It's time for me to do that. I just had to get a few things down pat myself, you know, and get in this food situation down back so I can function properly was the biggest thing, you know. Batter up on the first swing. Oh no, the cages, the batter's thing locked up. Home side, got the away side over there. Oh, this ground's a bit sloshy. Thought I had my wallet. I was going to duck in a pump and see if I've got a selfie stick, but I might still walk over there to have a look. Ground's a bit sloshy. So I went to the gym the other day as well for the first time in probably like a year. I had a real good workout, to be fair, but I just got way too sore. So I'm not going to the gym anymore. This is like, I went on Friday, today's currently Sunday, and I've literally been like ridiculously sore for the last 3 days. And I don't know if it's good for my body. Well, it's not good for my body right now, to be honest. I don't know why, but as soon as I go to the gym and, you know, get the pump, you know, the lactic acid that goes into my muscles and like just complete soreness, and I just don't feel good. And yeah, it's just too much for my body these days, training and doing weights. So I'm not going to do it for the meantime. I'm actually going to see a gastroenterologist. You know, I'll let you all know now. I'm going to see a gastroenterologist to get my gut checked out, because I've been to the doctor since I've been down in Sydney and trying to figure out what's going on with this food, even though I know anyway. You know, I can't handle, you know, eating food that's not clean or drinking water that's not clean, because I react to it, like I've said on the channel before. But yeah, I'm going to go actually see a gastroenterologist, because I went to the doctor down here, our family doctor. His name's Dr. Sue. We've been going to him for years, since I was a kid, like a baby. Maybe not a baby, but since I've been in Sydney anyway. And Nan took me down here to see him. And they did blood tests, and the blood test came back fine, like they always do. He did a normal blood test. You know, had to do a piss test and a feces test or whatever it was as well. And that came back clear, like it does every single time I go to the doctors. It always comes back clear. This is why, you know, I just had to try to figure out on my own. But I went back to him and he said I was fine. And I said, well, I'm not. And then he's finally get me to see a gastroenterologist, which none of the other doctors have ever done before. You know, every time I go and see him, they just say, oh, you know, it's in your head, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, it's not, because every time I eat certain things, you know, my gut comes out and my head, my mental state isn't good, and I get inflamed, you know, and get bloated, and I don't want to do anything. So, and it's only certain foods that I eat that cause me to do it. Or if I drink water that's not good, or tap water, and they all usually say the same thing. They do tests, they just do normal tests, and they tell me that I'm fine, and I know that's not the case. So he's taken me, so basically, yeah, I'm going to see a gastroenterologist on the 27th, which I think is like next Friday or something. So we'll see what happens there. I've not seen a gastroenterologist before, so from what I hear, you know, they have to, you know, maybe they might have to get a camera up there and have a look, you know, because whether they find something or not is yet to be found out. I don't know if they will find anything. Like I've told the doctor before, my gut flora might be completely off from eating the way I've been eating for years. Or who knows what will be in there. Or it might be completely clean, because currently I'm not inflamed. This is what I've told my nan, and I've told, you know, the doctor. It only happens when I eat certain things, because I've been eating the way I've been eating lately. I've not been inflamed because I found food to eat that doesn't inflame me. I'm fine. So are they going to go in there and it just be completely fine because, you know, I'm not inflamed? Who knows? But I'm glad I'm getting the test done, because I want to get this test done and see if there is anything else going on. But either way, you know, it doesn't really matter now, because I finally found some food I can eat. So, you know, it will help, and it does actually matter. It does matter, because if there is something else going on, I would like to know. You know, I would really like to know. So I actually can't wait, and I'm looking forward to going there and getting the results and seeing what they find, if they find anything. You know, because if there's something else going on, you know, who knows? I really don't know. But I know the way I feel after I eat certain foods. I do know that. But is it that, or am I just so sensitive to food because I've been so clean for so long, and I'm just more aware of, you know, things? Who knows? I'm going to find out either way, and I'll keep you guys updated after I see the gastroenterologist, you know, because I would like to know what's going on. Because either way, if I have to eat like this for the rest of my life, I will. And to be honest, I'm happy to eat like this for the rest of my life, because if I can just have a clear head and be able to function normally, drink filtered water, eat clean food that's cooked to perfection, because I have to cook it perfectly, you know, I can function. You know, I can get on with life and get to where I need to get to. But, you know, that can't happen if I'm inflamed. And that can't happen if my mental state is not clear. You know, so yeah. And I know I'm not the only one going through this sort of stuff, because I've seen other people, loads, that are going through the same thing. And I feel like a lot of people going through the same thing, they're just not aware of it. I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's what I feel. But a lot of people just aren't aware of, what they put in their body and how they react to it, because they're just so used to feeling like that all the time. A lot of people, I feel like they're probably just used to feeling inflamed most of the time, like I used to be. Before I started doing juicing and fasting and stuff, I was basically inflamed a lot, but my mental was a lot better back then too. But maybe because I was young and I didn't know the difference, or maybe it's as I got older, or whatever happened. Maybe I partied too much. I don't know what happened. But something happened after the age of 25, and there was stuff going on in the family at that time too. Like, I think I might have told you guys on the channel before, I had a lot of stuff going on with my family at the time. So, the extra stuff going on with that, with the drinking and the partying, all probably did something, because at the time I was just trying to numb myself from everything that was happening in the family. Even though I was in that scene working anyway, that was the scene that I was in, doing party tours and stuff like that. But, I'm looking forward to going to the doctor either way and figuring out what this actually is. So, if it is anything, because the doctors seem to think that it's nothing. They keep saying they don't think it's anything. But Dr. Sue's actually been good. He said maybe I do have something called, I don't know if I'm going to say what it is, but it's to do with the bowel. I thought I had IBS, and it's the same thing as, it's the same thing, IBS, and he thinks it's inflammatory bowel or whatever. So, but it doesn't happen all the time. This is what I'm trying to tell my nan and the doctor. I'm not always inflamed, so I don't have it all the time. It's only when I eat something that causes it. So, yeah, I ain't got that. I know I ain't got that, but we'll find out. We'll see what they've got to say. Because I'd like someone to actually have a proper look, not just do a normal, regular, everyday blood test like they always do, and it come back fine, And like I've seen a lot, because I've been following a lot of people for years about them doing blood tests. I've been following doctors saying, people get blood tests done and blood tests come back normal, Normal for who, Normal for society. Most of the society aren't feeling good all the time anyway, So I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel good all the time. That is what I want to do. But who knows? I really don't know how anyone else feels, but I know how I want to feel. That's all I know. For me, I want to be clear-headed and be able to just function properly. That's it. Be able to live life and not have to feel like sluggish and all the time from being inflamed. I don't want to feel like that, But we'll find out. And I'm in the right place at the right time. Being down here at my nan's right now is the best place for me to be. So I'm really happy with where I'm at, because this is the only place I can really figure this out, I don't have the extra pressure of trying to pay rent and trying to eat and introduce new foods and try get around being inflamed and then going to work and not feeling like it, and all that stuff I had to deal with before, living up on the Gold Coast on my own and then moving to Cairns. I'm actually at Nens, and I've got support down here. I've got my family to help me through it, because when I was in Cairns, to be honest with you guys, I was not in a good mind. I wasn't in a good mindset at all. I was ready to throw in the towel, to be honest with you. So I was ready to just throw in the towel. That's what I thought at the time, but I'm not doing that. I'm not throwing in the towel. That's really how I felt. I told Nan that too. I'm like, this is it down here. It has to work down here, because I have no other choice, and I really feel this is a place. And I already feel like I'm, I just feel, I don't know, I'm a lot better after today. I feel like I'm going to be fine after eating. I just needed a little bit, add a little bit of food to it, a little bit of butter. Helped. Really helped my brain today. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I'm down here. And you know, when I'm ready and I'm in the right I'm in the right state and I'm ready, you know, most likely I'm going to go back up to Cairns and start my life, start a family, you know, because I'm ready to do that, to be honest. I'm ready to do that. But it's good being down in my family as well, you know, and coming down here, feeling like how I feel now, you know, like feeling clean from the inside. It's a different experience, me being down here now. And like I've told, you know, like I tell people, and I've told my cousin and stuff like this before, like me coming down here now compared to what I've been down here in the past, because I'm feeling different, it's different. You know, it all starts with the internal. You have to get your internal state right. Get your internal state right, everything else will work out on the outside. You know, if your internal state is not it, then, you know, you've got some internal work to do. The world is inside of us, you know, and your thoughts become things. So what I say happens. So I'm feeling really good about everything. And yeah. I believe in happiness. I believe in happiness internally and externally. Oh, look at that for a background shot. That is a beauty. See? I said I believe in happiness and boom, look at that. The shot just comes out perfectly. My love. Sun's just going down. Alright, I'm gonna check this thing out later.